Hallo, hallo, let's start now. Yes, let's start and take a bow. Welcome to today's episode, which is about the bow hold. The bow hold is particularly important because it's one of our foundations on violin and string playing generally. So let's start by seeing if we can make a rabbit. First of all, what I want you to do is with your arm, just shake it out like this. And then let it just hang by your side. And if you bring your hand up like this, you'll find that naturally your thumb sits in the right part of your hand. So I'm going to put a little dot to join where my thumb touches my fingers. The dot's going to go on the corner of my thumb here, and where it touched was just here on my hand, and then I can bring these together. If I look through, I get a telescope. Can you see this egg shape that's created here? That's beautiful. Right, then my middle two fingers come together, and what I've created is what we call the rabbit. Here's the rabbit's ears. See if you can create that rabbit and waggle its ears. My rabbit can twitch its nose as well. See if your rabbit can twitch its nose. Perfect. If you look from here, you've still got that beautiful round egg shape because you've got that bendy thumb. That's perfect. But if something went wrong and our thumb changed, now we've got a fox. We don't want a fox. Come back to the rabbit. Perfect. Waggle its ears and twitch its nose. That's beautiful. Now, just shake out your hand like a butterfly and it will fly away. Perfect. And let it drop down by your side. See if you can get your rabbit. Just like that. Beautiful. That's fantastic. Now, obviously, your rabbit needs to be fed. So let's see if we can feed that rabbit with a carrot. Here's my carrot. Here's my rabbit. I'm just going to turn my hand like this and I'm going to open its mouth like that. And now all I'm going to do is feed the carrot, nom 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 nom, into its mouth and then let that come round like this. Now this is basically your bow hold. You've got your rabbit, but now we've got your pinky sitting on top and you've got this finger just curled round, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. So it looks like this. Now I'm just going to point this straight up at the ceiling, and it's important that you keep the tip of your bow pointing up at the ceiling. It's safer. If it comes down like this, it might poke something. So keep the tip of your bow pointing straight up, and we're going to go and stir a witch's cake. So we go stir, stir the witch's cake. What shall we put in the witch's cake? I think the first thing I'm going to put in is smelly socks. Stir them in. Stir, stir the witch's cake. What shall we put in the witch's cake? Frogs. Stir, stir the witch's cake. What shall we put in the witch's cake? What about slime? Stir, stir the witch's cake. What shall we put in the witch's cake? Brussels sprouts. They're so smelly. Put them in. Stir, stir the witch's cake. What shall we put in the witch's cake? What about maths homework? Stir, stir the witch's cake. Put it in the oven and watch it bake. Have we still got a nice curly pinky? Have you still got that bendy thumb? And are your fingers curled and hanging over the edge? Then that's perfect. Now I just gave you a challenge. Can you remember all the things that you put in the witch's cake? There were 5 things. Let's see if you can remember them. Try and recall them. That was amazing. Okay, now the next stage is, let's have a look at the bow itself. So, I've got a beautiful bow here. And the bow's a funny thing because one part of the bow is hair and the other part is wood. So when we touch our bow, we don't want to touch the hair because then it will get dirty and it won't work as well. So I always hold the bow down here or on the stick. I never hold it like this, otherwise the hair will get dirty. Now it's a funny thing with a bow because we have a windy thing here. Now if I wind that, you'll see that the hair slightly tightens. And I'm only going to tighten it to the point where I can put a pencil through the middle. Or I could go a little bit tighter. There. Perfect. See, in the middle of my bow, the pencil fits through. I'm not going to tighten it any more than that. That's perfect. And you'll see that the stick has a curve that goes down like a smiley face, like that. And that's what I want. I don't want the stick to be straight or to be curved in an unhappy face. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to help myself a little bit, and I'm going to put some little stickers onto my bow. The first sticker that I'm going to put on is green for go. Here's my green sticker. And this is on the balance point. So I'm going to find my balance point of the bow. Perfect, almost. There it is. And my bow balances. So I put my green sticker there. Then I'm going to look at the middle of my bow and I'm going to put my red sticker on there. Red is for stop. So I have 2 stickers on it. And then I'm going to look at this thing here, which is called the heel of the bow. It's the heavy part. And if you remember, our pinky was sitting on top of the bow like this. And we're going to have a little story about our fingers so we know where to put them. But before we have the story, I'm going to put a little pinky nest on. There we are. There's my little pinky nest. Okay, so your fingers on the bow are like the passengers on a train. You have, when you sit on a train, you're never allowed to put your feet up. So you should never have your feet up like this. You have to keep them on the ground so the chairs don't get dirty. The middle 2 fingers are the passenger's feet, hanging over the edge of the chair. Then this first finger, which sits roughly on the edge of that black bit, nibbling into the stripy bit, that's the passenger who has his legs crossed. So there's only 1 foot coming down. Then the pinky is the baby. Now the baby has to see out the window. So that's the only one that's allowed to stand on the chair so they can see out the window. And then underneath you have your thumb that sits in the corner, and it's half on the silver, half on the hair, like that. And I'm going to sit it on the outside for now because it's easier to hold the bow like that. And so this is the big fat controller with his big fat tummy. Remember to always have a bendy thumb like this with the big fat controller's tummy. Fantastic. Now we've got our bow. I'm going to do a little game now with you. And to make this game difficult, I'm going to put something on the tip of my bow that I've got to keep on, like magic. So remember, the tip of your bow has to always point up at the ceiling. And in this game, we go up and we go down, and it goes like this. Up like a rocket, down like the rain, back and forth like a choo-choo train, round and round like a great big sun. Sit it on your hand, curly pinky, bendy thumb. Did you manage that? Let's just try it one more time. So we went up like a rocket, down like the rain, back and forth like a choo-choo train, round and round like a great big sun. Sit it on your hand, curly pinky, bendy thumb. Beautiful. You are doing so well. That is fantastic. So I'm going to carefully take this off like that. Now I thought that we might go a little bit of fishing today. So I've got a different type of bow, but this is my fishing rod bow. So first I make my lovely bow hold. So I've still got my bendy thumb and I've still got my curly pinky. And now I'm going to bring my fish in for you to see. So here I go. I've got my rod up like this. I'll dip it into the water. Let's see what I can catch. I've caught a fish. Let's see what this fish has to say. It's a special type of fish. If you look carefully, it's a Piccadilly Circus fish. So I'm going to clap the rhythm of this fish. Can you do that with me? Ready, go. Piccadilly Circus. Can you say that with me as well? So I say, ready, go. Piccadilly Circus. Let's clap it again. Ready, go. Piccadilly Circus. You've just learnt a very complicated rhythm. Now we're going to make it even harder for you because you're doing so well. So I'm going to take my bow again and I'm going to make my nice rabbit with its waggly ears and twitchy nose. I'll open its mouth, feed in the carrot, and then let my fingers just curl round. I've got the bendy thumb, curly pinky, and my fingers are all hanging over the edge like passengers on a train. That's beautiful. Now, I'm going to say that rhythm and my bow is going to move up and down. Notice my elbow, it's going to bounce towards the ground like I'm on a trampoline. So we go, ready, go. Piccadilly Circus. Ready, go. Piccadilly Circus. Ready, go. Piccadilly Circus. Ready, go. Piccadilly Circus. And all the time, the tip of my bow was pointing straight up. It was never moving side to side. It was straight up. It's quite tricky doing that. But let's have a listen and see what can we do with the violin. Here's my violin. So I'm going to put it up into playing position. I've got my beautiful bow hold. And I'm going to stretch my arm out like it's a helicopter all the way to Australia. And then it's going to come in and it's going to land. Boom. With no noise. Let's do it again. Now, if I use my other bow with the dots, you can see where I've landed because the green dot is my landing point. Perfect. Now, if I play Piccadilly Circus, each note is going to go from green to red. Ready, go. Beautiful. Shall we try it again? Ready, go. Ready, go. That was gorgeous. Right, that's the end of today's lesson. But to finish with, I'm going to play a little tune for you, which we call Piccadilly Circus Twinkle. And I want you to listen to it all the way through because I've set you a challenge, which I'll tell you about at the end. Here's my helicopter. I bring it into land and I roll over. So here's your challenge. If you count the number of times that you show a friend or your parents or your brothers or sisters how you hold the bow, and go through the whole of this video and show them what you do when you play your violin, you get 1 point. So if you play to your whole class, if you've got 28 boys and girls in your class, you get 28 points. And then if you listen to that performance of Piccadilly Circus, Twinkle, if you listen to it 5 times this week, you can double your points. And if you get 50 points, you can choose the pizza of your dreams, and you can have that as a family. If you get 100 points, you can choose what film you want to take your family to, and you can have popcorn and everything. I hope to see you next week, and have a lovely time. Bye now.